consequences of slavery in 2 American centuries. Black people, we are jacked up. The following piece I can't claim to be my own. See, I'm just spitting up that which was ingested a long time ago when I learned the history behind deadbeat dads and video hoes. The truth behind overprotective moms, still rocking that 34-year-old Negro in the cradle of her arms. The urban legend behind hip-hop's misogynistic treatment of the so-called bitches. The psychological viewpoints of physical and sexual abuse. Hell no, this ain't no lame excuse. And we all know excuses are monuments of nothingness. Black folks, we are a hot, darn mess. But don't fret. Like the Tower of Babel, we can reduce that thing to a pile of gravel. And the walls of Jericho, they got to come down. Ain't you sick and tired of that Jedi mind trick? No crackers think they slick. Got us believing we can't do no better. But this skin right here, made for all kinds of weather. The proceeding introduces the following. A paraphrasing of the brilliant work of author Orlando Patterson's discussion of matters, explaining why we do what we do. So I looked into the mirror and I began with you. I fathered my first child when I was 26 years old. Brace your eardrum because this shit here is bold, and so is she. Attracted me with bright skin, bright eyes, stretched up eyes, and a Kool-Aid smile. At the tender age of 23, Mrs. C wanted to lay her little hands on me. I was a dumb ox going to slaughter. The blindness would not allow me to see that Mrs. C was out to have a child with me. So she came and we come. 36 and some change, the kingdom come. The irony was in his name. She called him Jonathan. The meaning is loyal. Not 26 and no record was soil because I now had a son. Man, you should have seen that nigga run as far as the eyes could see. But when I saw her again, Mrs. C was Mrs. G. At least that's the bullshit she told me. Result, no opportunity to become a known black family. Footnote, history. There's a player synonymous with the stud, a black buck who's bought to breed, impregnate them field witches and spread his royal seed. Keep up them good genes until he's no more used to master. Within a large prostate, he gets put out the pasture, leaving 21 children to become little black bastards. Can you tell there's a freaking pattern? Well, hell, I guess I'll just pick up the mirror and just take another look. There's enough dysfunction in this soul to write a freaking book. I met her in the midst of red clay, rummaging spirits, and familiar faces. Her places was dance hall suburbia, and I wanted to dance with her. She was a delicate flower waiting to be adored, and there was I, the adorer. But if you made sudden movements like lifting your hand up, she'd be apt to duck because her past lover had her nerves shook because he was a preacher's son, also an occasional white beater. Didn't really know quite how to treat her. No power in the workplace, no power in the home. He went upside your dome and you popped off at the mouth. Via the Underground Railroad, you escaped and became my wife. Life was supposed to be happily ever after, but in this chapter, Master reels his ugly head into our being. See, a man named Lipstick, the strongest of human beings, and tied each leg to horses facing opposite directions. A sharp inflection in his voice startled the horse and ripped the man's body damn near in two. Being a witness to this atrocity does something to you, mentally. It puts your black ass in check. Now ask yourself the question, does that sound too far-fetched? So I pray that my second son can escape the emotional harm of 9 years of sleeping with his mom. And I understand mom's innate desire to protect him from the world, but right now, right here, we're raising men and not girls. But what about my little girls? May the Lord have mercy on their soul. God blesses the child that has her own. Daddy, he was absentee, out there in the streets, being a hoe, or a player, or a stud, or D, all of the above. Spreading this deep and out an ounce of love, and that's what your little dove needed. A father that would have treated her like a queen. Now mommy and Uncle Joey got her dancing out seeing that grown-up takeover of children's parties. Apparently one of those assholes at the party thought it was cute because my Monday morning email had her dancing on YouTube, checking her little body and gyrating her tiny hips. The shit was making me sick to my stomach. I couldn't stomach to watch anymore. Got my babies dancing like a horse. The consequences of slavery got us prostituting our babies for quick bucks. For worldly accolades, how they played sex, slave, and slutting. Some of the brothers were absolutely livid, but I didn't see not one of us pick at the Emmys or the Oscars. Master still got us asking Motisa because the loss of power begins in the hearts and minds. See, it's about time we take back our identity because the black family has been completely discombobulated. Took them African ladies, took them African queens, stole her crown and made her video queens. She was turned into baby-making machines. And now the whole world never gets to see her royalty. We made the mistakes of conforming with the enemy, the consequences of slavery in 2 American centuries. I tried to counter the physical disconnection encountered with my first son by forming an ironclad bond with my second one, only to see that tie bleed, her egg united with foreign seed. At least it was strange to me. Out there in the streets, going around, not keeping it real. In an investigative quest to meet the donor, I became a loner, separated from my home, left out the fending for things of my own, things other than that band of gold, and spiritually broken in these streets of gold. On top of her sheets, I released the seeds of captivity, and the million of them sought freedom and life. Unfortunately, it was not within the womb of my wife. Life shall seek and life shall find, but this time I was repeating the history of fathers that came before me, the consequences of slavery in 2 American centuries.